it would be cheaper to buy it on the market, and then you wouldn't have to wait 200 days either. So what we are concerned about now with regards to Fief is that it's going to be kind of difficult for them to sell the NFT as long as the Fief token is priced underneath, the NFT price.
What did you think of Fief Guild, the project itself, not even the Arjo release?
Yeah. So once again, Ventures has invested in Fief as well. We are overall extremely bullish on Metaverse, and if there is, well, let me take one step back. We're extremely bullish on Metaverse, but we cannot play like every single game or participate in every single Metaverse or extract the most value through play to earn ourselves. It's almost impossible. It just takes so much time. So you need some other solution to get your value out of all these Metaverse gaming play to earn kind of projects. One solution may be like bots, getting bots in. Everything happens on chain. And it's going to be really difficult, in my opinion, to keep bots out. You see it with Krabada. So botting is a solution. And it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It depends on, the implementation, I'd say. Another solution would be scholarships, lending your asset to someone else who doesn't have the money to buy the full asset, but does have the time to play with it. And Fief Guild is a little bit similar, where it's like, okay, I will give some money, essentially. I will purchase an NFT, and then that money for that goes into a treasury, and then the Fief Guild team will use that to purchase Metaverse asset, lend them out, do whatever they need to do with it to optimize returns. So it is a way to get exposure to like the Avalanche Metaverse and gaming ecosystem without being actively involved. And so yeah, we are bullish on it. I think we didn't, as investors as well. We were not the biggest fan again of the Rocket Joe launch. The original idea was that the assets would sell via or Fief would sell via the NFT emissions, which had like very low emissions for like 200 days, small bond, like kind of bonding. And then, basically the NFTs would set the floor price for Fief. And then like a little premium for like not having to wait 200 days for the full emission to happen. But what Rocket Joe did, well, as a result of Rocket Joe, the price of Fief actually ended up below the price of, even if you bought the most expensive NFT, which has the highest emissions, it would be cheaper to buy it on the market. And then you wouldn't have to wait 200 days either. So what we are concerned about now with regards to Fief is that it's going to be kind of difficult for them to sell the NFT as long as the Fief token is priced underneath, the NFT price. And so we'll have to see. We still have to see them, I think, deploy their treasury in a way that starts generating yield. And if they do that enough, then perhaps you'll see the Fief price increase as well, up to like the NFT floors, and then people will be more interested in buying the NFTs again. Overall, the idea is great, and we are bullish on it. I think the Rocket Joe or the launch in general wasn't the biggest success, but yeah, we'll have to see how that recovers. They have a treasury which they can deploy, and if you're bullish on Metaverse, you can still expect that to recover, I'd say.
So I don't know that much about Fief. I know very let's say intro level things. Like I understand that there's the different guilds, not guilds,
the factions.
Yeah, they have the different factions. I understand that each faction has a specific job that it's responsible for. What I can't seem to really wrap my head around is how exactly does what's happening accrue value to Fief token holders? Like how do I, as a Fief token holder, extract value from Fief?
I do not fully have the answer for that. I think it's probably somewhere in some of the things that I imagine they'll deploy their treasury, and somehow with the returns or the values of that, like the Fief token will have correlation to that, either through buybacks or getting some return of it or some other way. How exactly the process works for like returning value to the token, I'm not 100% sure on.
Other than that, though, I do like the overall idea, because there's so many games out there, and I barely have time to keep up with one, just by the time I'm done doing research on one project and then somebody tells me about another one and then 5 more pop up in my feed and I'm starting to look into those, there's no way that I have time to research, play, understand all the different crypto games that are out there that could potentially do very well,
Yeah. So, I think we can talk about, our like in strategies or tips for beginners, because it is a world cryptocurrency where you're gonna get bombarded with so many things, and you have to like really find the diamond in the rough, or sift through the noise to find what's actually relevant and good.
That's true. 100% true. I guess for a second, let's switch gears. I want to talk about hardware now. Said, I know that you just started running a validator, and I would love to hear about that. Like, what was that process like? How'd you get started? What's it like on a day-to-day, that kind of thing?